that we really do only know in part. Paul's point is that we must remain skeptical and humble because we humans are so severely limited in our knowledge, in our capacities, in our strength of will, in our values. This passage should be, to quote Bruce Epperly, the primary antidote to religious idolatry, intolerance, and fanaticism. So, if our knowledge, our will, our capacities, our values are limited, then what are we to do? What is the right thing? How do we get along? What is good and true? And that's where St. Paul answers that we are to love one another. When we don't know what the right decision is to make, we are to love one another. When we do not know what to say, we are to love one another. When we are uncertain about something in our relationships, we are to love one another. When we can't agree with each other, we are to love one another. Because while our prophecy cease and our tongues turn down and our knowledge vanishes, love never fails. Love doesn't claim to know, it is uncertain, it cannot boast, and has no pride. And in fact, if you think you are speaking like an angel and you have the word and will of God, then you really only sound like a clanging cymbal. Love isn't easy. It may be the most difficult thing that we do because it bears all things and believes all things and endures all things. It suffers long and is still kind. So when you're fighting with your partner or your spouse and don't know what you should say or do, remember that both of you only know in part. Remember that humility is the best place to start, and mostly remember to love, because maybe you don't know what to say, but your actions can convey love. Or when you're working with a group of people and there is disagreement that leads to or could lead to conflict, don't rush too quickly to a conclusion. Be patient. And in the time that's created by the patience, spend it loving one another and trust that the path forward will emerge out of your actions of love rather than your limited understanding. 1 Corinthians 13 is really not a warm, sentimental passage. It's in fact a stark reminder of our limitations and a daring challenge to a different way of living. One that's rooted in not being right, in being able to admit our ignorance, and out of that ignorance having the faith and hope that the path ahead is the one in which we love one another.